getting a square edge on a board this long with a compact table saw can be difficult. So a few pieces of advice how you can get a gluable edge with this kind of setup. First of all, an outfeed table is an essential accessory for anybody doing this kind of woodworking, whether it be a compact saw or a full-size cabinet saw. It adds so much stability to the pieces that you're working on and so much versatility to the way that you can work. The next problem is with the saw itself. The fence is just simply not long enough to guide the piece sufficiently as you're pushing it through the saw. And that can lead to the piece wobbling, leading a wobbly edge, a stepped edge, or a burnt edge, none of which is good for a glue up. And as much as we want to deny it, these fences just simply aren't long enough. The solution though is really simple, and it should be more commonplace in fine woodworking on these compact saws, and it's to add a fence extension. This is our fence extension that we designed and made for ourselves, and we are extremely happy with it. It's 1 meter long, which I think is the sweet spot between giving extra stability and guidance without becoming too big and cumbersome, and it really does make a huge difference. On top of that, you've got the in-feed support here, which was a surprise to us just how beneficial that is. It stops that awkward seesawing as you feed it in and allows you just to focus on the cut. Definitely, I would recommend going for an aluminium extrusion as opposed to a timber variant. This is so much more stable and consistent, and you will never have to worry about it being straight because it just will be. It will remain square as long as your stock fence is square, and to attach it, you just use these clamps, a single twist, and it's attached. Also, it has the advantage of these T-tracks allow you to mount accessories. If you are interested in building one of these for yourself, we have a whole video about it, which I'll link down in the description. For my final recommendation, I'm going to recommend these stock guides here. Now, I'll concede that these aren't for everybody. They're more expensive and they're only suitable for certain kinds of cuts. But for this kind of cut in particular, the difference is significant and they really are a major aid. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of questions as to how I mount this to my fence. And the answer is I ditched the stock aluminium rails and I instead mounted it to this piece of birch ply, which I cut so that I knew would fit between my clamps. I then cut holes for nuts, bolts, and 20 series T-nuts, which when I align them to the fence extension that I've got, I can just drop it into place and then snug up the bolts. And the way this works that is so advantageous is that first of all, you've got a one-way bearing on these rollers here, and they stop any kind of kickback happening. But the rollers are always so offset on an angle, so it pulls the timber in towards the fence, and they're spring-loaded, so it holds it down towards the table as well. Which means as you're feeding your piece in, all you need to worry about is pushing it in, and these rollers make sure that it stays perfectly square and true and as you want it to be. Now, I'll go on a bit of a limb here and say that without any of these accessories, it's almost likely that you're going to get a little bit of wobble when cutting a board of this length, which might be good enough for your glue up, but you might also find yourself banging your head against a brick wall with always having a slightly imperfect edge. With this kind of setup, with the fence extension and these rollers, it's very difficult to get anything other than a perfect cut.